Alright, I welcome you guys to another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about proprietary firm trading, and specifically this is relating to secrets to passing your prop assessment fast and easily, right? So, and even after passing it, this strategy is also very good for making the big money, right? So it's a secret, so you guys need to make sure you are paying close attention. I actually have some things that have been drafted out, right? So without wasting most of our time, let's just dive into what we have for this particular video. Alright, so secrets to passing prop accounts, right? So now one thing you need to understand is that proper risk management is not enough, right? So you can be very strict with proper risk management in the sense that yes, you can still pass it, it's possible, right? So but if you have to say that you should stick to one particular risk, right? So by now I would like to believe most of all understand what proper risk management is all about. It's about risking one particular percentage of your account, and if you don't know, there is a particular range that is regarded as professional standard, which means you should only risk between 1% to 5% of your account at maximum. Anything beyond 5% is literally, not the risk management. It is involving risk into your account, and you are also involving risk into your trading, right? So for if you call yourself a professional, you should only be risking between 1 to 5% of your account. You all already understand that, I would like to believe, and I would also like to believe that you all already understand what I mean by position sizing, lot sizing, and so many other things. Alright, so now this strategy, this risk management model actually teaches you on how you can easily pass your program, right? Like seamlessly, very fast, right? At the same time, still maintaining proper risk management, right? So it's a secret, and you need to pay close attention. So now I'm using an imaginary account for this example and teaching. So now for every prop firm account you get access to, for you that don't know anything about proprietary firm, I have a video on that, and I'm going to be sharing it into this particular group and some other resources that might also be relevant to things that you all might need to know, right? So I'm also going to be sharing it in this group, so you all get to dig in and also understand this thing so that you can catch up now. So for every prop account you get, there's always going to be an account size. Proprietary firms are financial institutions in the foreign exchange market space that are actually in charge of funding skilled traders that they have tested, that they have seen that they can trade. So they fund them with so amount of large funds, and whatever profit the trader makes, they give the trader 80%. Some even give as large as 90%, and then they take 10%. It's a win-win game, and there are rules and regulations that actually makes this account and this system actually work without anybody having issue with each other, right? So, and yeah, the things for every account size, in this case we are using $5,000 as an example. There is always a rule of maximum drawdown, which is the maximum amount of loss that you can have on this $5,000 account. It means if you have $500 loss and your account is now at 4,500, you are out of the test phase, talk less of saying that the live fund, right? And this rules is still always applicable on the live fund. But as a professional trader, you will not even be able to go beyond this. And as somebody who understands the risk management model that I teach, you understand that it's a very strong one, and it's for professional trading, and not, we are not gambling here, we are learning forex professionally. So they can give you a maximum drawdown of 10%, just like the proprietary firm accounts that I trade. It's quite different from the other ones out there. So if you are using Maven, you might be getting a maximum drawdown of 8%, right? We have different types, right? So if you are just interested, don't worry, I'm going to be dropping the names of the prop firms that you can actually, that I personally, in my opinion, I recommend, and I can see that they are good based on research over the years, right? And based on the fact that I personally am using, right, and also some of my colleagues are using, right? So now maximum drawdown of 10%, then maximum daily drawdown. This maximum daily drawdown is the total amount of loss that you must not cross within a day, in the sense that imagine you making $250 loss in a day or even more, right? So 5%. So 10% of $5,000 account is $500. 5% of $5,000 account is $250. These are rules that actually keep things clean. So if you go beyond $500 loss on your maximum drawdown or all through, your losses must not cross $500. If it crosses it, then you have failed the test phase. And even though if you are life funded, if your losses cross this, you're actually out. Then we have maximum daily drawdown. If you cross these two, you must not fail any of the two, right? So we have some of this test phase, for the test phase now, because we are talking about passing your prop assessment. So it's more of like the test phase where they are testing if you are a good trader or not before they give you live funds, right? So for the test phase, it's most of the time it's always two phases for most prop firms, right? So they can give you an 8% profit target for your phase one, which is always the hardest, $400. And calm down, I'm going to be teaching you how you can easily pass it, and very very fast, in this particular training. So 8% $400 profit target means once you get to $400 profit on your account, which means you now have 5,400 without violating any of these rules like the maximum drawdown of $500 and 250. You have passed it, and then you are now qualified to move to phase 2 of the assessment, which is much more less stressful. 5% of the account, $250. So it means once you make $250 on this your $5,000 test account, which is $5,250, you have passed phase 2 without violating any of the maximum drawdown and the daily drawdown rule. Alright, so now let's talk about this secret strategy that help you pass your problem very very fast, still maintaining proper risk management. Right now, I need you to pay attention. Risk management model. Now we are going to be considering some things. Number one is the risk management model, right, that you are meant to implement when your account balance is on or below $5,000 initial starting balance. We are using that $5,000 for an example. So it's going to be a different case for you if you are actually trading larger accounts than $5,000. $5,000 is the smallest, right? So now your risk management model, if you are trading, if your account balance is still 5,000 or below 5,000, which means you are in loss, but you are not yet close to your maximum drawdown of $500. You have not had $500 in loss. Your account is netting $4,500 in balance, right? Is that you can, for this sake, 4% is advisable, right? You can be risking 4% of your account, which is $20 for that's the 4% of your maximum drawdown. You see, I stated it here that note, all risk is calculated based on maximum drawdown, not capital. So you look at your maximum drawdown, which is $500, then you look for the 20% of the 4% of $500, which is literally 20%. For other accounts, like the accounts that you might be getting, it might not be $500, it might be $400. I said it might be 8%, right? So that 8% now is going to be $400. You must make sure it is the 4% of 8% of 8% of which is of your maximum drawdown, which is $400 that you are risking. But in this case, for this example, it's $500. So 4% of $500 is equal to $20. So whenever your account balance is on 5,000 or below, just make sure you are risking your 4% on every setup consistently. Don't change it. Just 4% on every setup. That's the case 1. Case 2, the second model, risk management model you are meant to implement. And this one talks about risk management after making profit of 20% of your maximum drawdown above starting capital of $5,000. Story about this was a typical referral, right? So when you have make 20% profit on top, so now the 20% profit now of our maximum drawdown is $100. 20% of 500 is 100, right? Our maximum drawdown is $500, so 20% of $500 is 100. So now our total equity, like our total balance after we have made profit of $1, to make it simpler, is going to look like this: $5,100. right? So your risk, what you be risking after you have made $100 on your $5,000 is that you risk that 20% that you have made. You risk that $100 because now you are no more risking out of their maximum drawdown, which is $500, which is out of the $5,000. But now you have made extra profit on top of the $500, which is your own personal profit. Now you can now risk this $100 that you have made on top. And why do you need to risk it? Because now we are not just talking about risk and risk and risk. I'm not saying, remember I stated it, when your account is on 5,000 or below, risk your 4% of that your maximum drawdown. Keep on risking it, which is $20 in this case now. And if it is above 5,000, which is mainly $100, when you have made $100 profit on top, risk the whole $100 on one trade. Right? Now, if you lose this $100, you know that you are now back to your 5,000 or below a little bit. It will even be 5,000 because you are only risking $100. So you know you are now back to your 5,000. What you now need to do is that you go back to your 4% again. 4% of your maximum drawdown, which is $500 in this case, and keep on risking that $20 again until you make another $100. Why am I talking about this? Why is this important? The way it is important is that this 4%, for you to get to the maximum drawdown, you have to have 25 losing trades without any profit, which is impossible, which is our normal proper risk management trade, proper risk management model. The strategy that I've taught you guys is a strategy that is simple and is very, very effective. You are less likely going to be in loss most of the time. You are most likely going to be in profit most of the time, which is one thing that gives you guys a very, very big edge. And that's why I'm recommending 4% for the risk, because the strategy is a high win rate strategy, number one. Now, if you have 4 losses consistently, you already understand the concept of risk management. You have 4 losses consistently, 4% of your, or let's say 5 losses consistently out of, when your account was still in an initial balance of $5,000, you have only lost $100. That's 4 losses in a row out of your maximum. It have not even come close to your maximum drawdown, which is $500. If you have, let's say 6, that is $120. It's not even close. If you have 10 losses in a row, that's when your account is on $5,000. If you have 10 losses, in a row underneath it, when your account balance is $500, you lose this 4%, which is your $20. You lost it 10 losing trades straight. That is $200. You still have $300 to risk. And the worst case scenario is for you to have 10 losses in a row, which that strategy won't even give you. Right? So that is for the case of this. That's why you don't want to be risking more than that when you're on their maximum drawdown. But once you have made your profit, like you now have extra money on top of the account, 5,100, you can risk the whole 100 to be able to speed up how fast you can easily pass the problem. Now, there is what we call risk to reward ratio, and this works in a way whereby if you want to make this $100 now, just risking $20 on a risk to reward ratio of 1:5 in the market, you get this $100, because 1:5 means you are making times 5 of what you risk. And there are times whereby you can cash 1:10 in the market. There are times whereby you can cash 1:17 in the market. It is normal. This 1:5 is the average. You can literally see it every day. 1:5. So it means you can get to this 5,100 anytime you want. Right? If you have losses, 3 losses, no problem. Once you have 1 profit to recover your job, make sure that you already above your account. You're already on this 5,100 before you think of risking anything out of the risk that you were risking for. So once you get to 5,100, risk the $100. Now, once you risk the $100 profit that you have on top of it, if you see a risk to reward ratio of 1:5, you have actually passed the challenge. Because what's the profit target for phase 1? $400. 1:5 now, if you are risking $100, it means you are making times 5 of what you risk. 100 times 5 is what? $500. But if you lose the $100, what will you do? Go back to your normal risk until you make $100 again, making 5,100. That's until you make 5,100 again. and then risk it. If you lose it again, go back to your normal risk again until you make. There is no how. A time will come whereby you will have a winning trade with your $100 and you will pass your phase one. So now the way phase two works is also the same thing, but you must be less aggressive in this sense. You can be risking the same. You can reduce your risk a little bit to like 3%. You get, so once you make like $50 on your account, our profit target is less now. Once you make like $50 on your account, right? So what you want to do is risk that whole $50, and once you cash a trade of, even though if it is $100 you made on the account, let's say if it is 50, if you made $100 on the account, still risk $50, right? Because your profit target is less, so you don't need to risk $100. And this is how you can actually make money. And after passing the proper account, because it's guaranteed you pass it, and you cannot, if you are maintaining your proper risk management, remember when your account is on $5,000, your initial starting capital or below it, just be risking your 4% of your maximum drawdown consistently. Don't change it. But when it is above, when you have made extra profit on top, you can risk that extra profit that you have made, in this case $100, not $50, so specifically 20% of your maximum drawdown. If you have made it like $100 extra on that account to make it like 5,100 in this case, you can risk your 20% to actually make more. Right, so when you have made your first profit, I would advise you, when you passed your first profit, any 20% you are first making, right? Like as you make this $100, don't risk everything. You draw it first. Use if you have tried it, you get. So in this case like this now, if you are trading an account size that is larger, like $400,000 account, any of your first 20% withdraw it. You can use to sort out some of the things you need to sort out. Then any profit, if you are making another 20% later on, you can now implement this after passing to make big money, right? To make big money. Like now, if you are risking this $100 now and then put 1:5 after you have made your first withdrawal and then you have sorted out some things, you are making $500. After making $500, to now be $5,500. So you now have $500 extra. To now be $5,600 because you made $500 profit plus this $100 that was there before as your profit, making $600 in terms of profit that you have. In this case now, you now have a total maximum drawdown of $600 plus the maximum drawdown of 500. So you have 1,100 maximum drawdown like that, which is your own personal profit and their own maximum drawdown. You want to stay far away from it as possible, right? As far away from it as possible. You can risk $100 again, right? Not that maybe you now start risking $100 in 6 different places. You cannot do it in this way, that you risk $100 out of the $600 that your profit that you have made, which is like 5,600 in total. Risk $100. If it loses, go back to your 20%. You make the $100 back. Risk the $100 after making it, right? After you lose the $100, it comes back to 5,500. You risk 4% back. You make $100, and continue like that. And this is how you can make big money, right? So once you make the $100 back and you risk it, once you get 5,600 back and you risk it, and you made like, you cut 1:10. There are times where you won't cut one, you won't cash 1:10. You have made $1,000 like that. You get. So, and this is the secret to you actually, imagine this is a $5,000 account. It is very, very small, right? So, and if you have made your money, right, don't forget you need to upscale. If you are starting from $5,000, you can sign another contract with the pro firm that, yes, this time around I want to get access to your $200,000 account or $400,000 account. I can trade it. Put me on the test phase so that you guys can test me if I can trade it or not. Implement this stream strategy. It works. Trust me, it works. Implement this stream strategy. Don't worry. As you are going through that test phase, this one will still be active. You will still be trading and making withdrawals because you are not line funded, right? So as you are going through that test phase, and after you pass that one, your profit will not be it can be like $11,000, it can be like $20,000, sometimes 27. Implementing this same risk management strategy, and so on. And that's all for this particular video. Hope I did not take you guys time too much. Hope you guys have learned something so far. Other videos relating to the things that you might be needing, like the basics of sessions, I might be sending it in right? So for the people that doesn't know anything about sessions at all before, right? And that's all for this particular strategy course or training. Hope you guys actually make use of this information properly, which I'm very sure you guys will. And good luck to you guys, good trading. And the next thing I want to be seeing is results. So after watching this video, if you have made it this far, I want you guys to be dropping your analysis and trades into this group, right? I'm also going to be creating a WhatsApp group whereby I'm going to be updating everybody, so as for everyone to be active. And let me just see how you guys are trading, right? So, and if you're having results, come on, I want to see those results. That's why this we have this particular what they call it. So my mic is currently down. I don't know why. But alright, so my mic was down for like I think the battery of the first mic was down, so I had to just pick the second one. Alright, so yeah, so that's just it. So I want you guys to drop your signals and analysis, what you are looking at in the market. Let me monitor how you guys are trading. This is the only way you guys can have results. When you are showing me how you are viewing these things in the market, you are picking trades, right? And it's not just for you to demo trade. I want you to demo trade for like a week to 2 weeks. And I'm very sure you guys have already understand this strategy, because that's the sole aim of the strategy. Simplicity and yet effective. I want to see that massive result, guys. If you are going to be getting a proper account, tell me. Don't worry, I'll put you through on the process. So I want to start seeing screenshots and testimonials of withdrawals, thousands in dollars on the group, right? So, and I've actually provided all the secrets that you guys need, every resources that you guys need to actually achieve this. Trust me, you guys don't know what you have just gotten access to. These are informations that you will never get access to learning from YouTube. And I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. You get access to a lot of information, you don't know how to put them together on YouTube. That's the problem, right? So, but yeah, you are getting access to a golden nugget and a secret that will actually help you to be more effective and also get to that destination even much more faster. And that's all for this particular training, guys. Thank you so much for coming this far. Hope you have learned something, and the next time I want to start seeing from you guys is implementation and results and withdrawals, right? I just want to start seeing that, right? And I know that one person is actually going to come out with that very soon, very faster than even most other people that might be on this group, right? So that's just it, and I know that every other person too will join, right? So if you want to get the prop firm, if you want to get started, just hit me up. If you want to ask any question, ask the question on this.